Namaste, welcome everyone, welcome. So I'll give you a few moments to settle on your mat, have available what you need for your practice. So if you need a blanket, have a blanket available for your knees. We are going to be sitting in Vajrasana, the thunderbolt pose, where we're on our knees. So you might want a cushion for underneath your knees or be at the back of your knees. Perhaps you want a rolled up blanket on the inside of your ankles. We won't be there for very long, but just have what will bring you a little bit of extra comfort. So when you're ready, let's come into our easy pose, Sukhasana. Grounding down into your sit bones, lengthening through your spine. And let's bring our hands into our mudra. Our mudra for the moment is going to be rudra mudra. Rudra mudra. So it's two words that sound very similar. Rudra means something that's hard. So for example, you can have your mala beads made out of the rudra seed. It's like a very hard seed. And in that seed that you thread on your mala, that is the seed of knowledge and wisdom. But it means that we get there by having difficult conversations with ourselves and with others. So we're practicing under the new moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is the rebellious sign, the sign of uprising, of challenge, of resisting authority. And to do that, to have the strength, the resilience, the courage to challenge authority, to rise up, to rebel against the norms, it takes a really clear vision of what is difficult and moving forward through that difficulty. It could be the conversations we have with ourselves about letting go of illusions or belief systems that we hold that are misguided or misaligned with our values. It might be that we challenge others around us, challenge their thinking. So this new moon in Aquarius practice is going to be connected to that sense of the rebellious sign. And if we think about what's going on around the globe, we know that there are political and social movements happening in various places. Myanmar, for example, India, we know Hong Kong. So we know that there are difficult situations around the world. And the question we ask ourselves, let me tell you how to do the Rudra Mudra. I've started going off on an explanation there. Let's bring in the index finger to the thumb and the ring finger so that you have your middle and little finger extended. And then palms face up on your knees. So this is Rudra Mudra. And this mudra will enable you, strengthen you, resolve, create a resolve in you to have difficult and revelatory conversations. We know that sometimes the greatest change can be the most difficult period to go through. Think of a butterfly a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly in its cocoon. That is a difficult journey for the caterpillar. Take a full breath in, full breath out. The element that we are connecting with today is the element of air, Vayu. I invite you to visualize in your mind's eye the new moon, a crescent, a sliver. And perhaps you cast a color on this moon, a light blue, a bright silver, something that is cooling. So this energy that we have to transform ourselves and the world around us, sometimes we need to guide it. The Aquarius spirit is so rebellious that it can break out of boundaries and limitations and restrictions. And sometimes that can lead to conflict, confrontation, anger. So we can bring in a touch of cool, a clarity of vision, so that we can guide and direct the efforts to change in a way that is constructive, in a way that it moves from the heart center. So we know the element of air, Vayu, is connected with Anahat chakra here at the heart center. So we move with what I call revolutionary love. So love can be revolutionary, but it is always coated in compassion. Our mantra for today is Om Chandrayai Namaha, invoking the energy of the moon. Om Chandrayai Namaha. Chandra means moon. Invoking the moon energy, this cooling lunar energy. We'll chant that 3 times together, and then we'll open our practice. Inhale fully into the heart space to prepare. Om Chandrayai Namaha. Om Chandrayai Namaha. Om Chandrayai Namaha. Hands to the eyebrow center. Om. 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 Namaste. Sat Sri Akal. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So our practice today is really going to be connected to this sense of struggle, this sense of the rebellious spirit that runs like metal through the ore that runs through the blood of leaders, of visionaries, people who lead communities to change. And these communities can be small or vast movements, mass movements of change. Take a moment here, and anytime you can bring your hands into rudra mudra, this gesture of firmness, of having the strength to have difficult journeys, difficult conversations. One breath here. And then let's turn our palms face down, and we're going to do Sufi circles. So this swaying motion starting at the base of the spine and really bringing in the heart space. So we're going to have an expansive practice that connects with Vayu element, the element of air, which is the element associated with Aquarius. 3 or 4 times in one direction, and then let's reverse the movement. And this can be quite dynamic. For the moment, we are going to cool down. Here, we're just getting the energy flowing. The prana is beginning to circulate up the length of our spine. And then let's come to stillness. Take a moment here, place the left hand on the earth, reach up and over. I invite you to bring your rudra mudra to the right. Inhale through center. Let's go over to the left. Inhale back to center. Take a moment here. Let's turn over to the left. Inhale through center, over to the right. Take a moment here, back to center. Let's come directly onto our hands and knees. So we're not taking much time there at the moment on the ground. We're not, because we want an uplifting energy that connects with Vayu. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Inhale, cat-cow, Marjaryasana, Bitlyasana. So on the inhale, lift the tail. Dip the lower back, shine the heart, lift the gaze. On the exhale, begin the movement at the tailbone, rounding through your spine, tucking your chin to your throat. Inhale, cat, Marjaryasana. Exhale, Bitlyasana, cow. Twice more, involving the whole length of your spine. And then let's come to stillness here for a moment. Circle one way and then the other way. Maybe go again. So I felt a bit of crackling in my joints. And because I'm Vata, the dosha Vata, which is a mix of air and earth, I get lots of air in my joints. So I hear cracking when I do a Vayu element practice. And then let's come to stillness. Turn to look towards your left hip, creating a C shape. Inhale to center, exhale to look to the right. Again, creating a C shape. Then back to center. Now this is where we come to sit on our heels, which is where you might need your blanket or cushion. So if you have a blanket available, you can always roll up the end of your blanket so it pads the inside of your ankles, so it feels less uncomfortable. You can always place a cushion underneath your sit bones, place a cushion underneath your knees. And if it feels really uncomfortable, come onto your seat in Sukhasana. I want to turn and face you so you can see what I'm doing here. Draw your shoulder blades together so that you open across the heart. Open out your arms. Let's bring our hands into our rudra, mudra, index and ring to the thumb. Take a moment here. Inhale to reach up. Bring the tips of your fingers together. Exhale to bring your hands down towards the heart. Inhale to open, circling your arms up. Tips of thumbs and fingers come together, down to your heart. Open again. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a moment here. Let's release our hands. Let's reach up and over and take our right hand to the middle of our upper back here. And then reach over to your right elbow and gently draw the elbow. Pull the elbow towards you so that your hand reaches further down your back and your elbow is pointing up towards the sky. Open here along the side of the heart space. One more breath here. And then let's release that hand. Let's swap over. So let's draw the left hand to the middle of the shoulder blades. Gently drawing on the left elbow with the right hand. Creating space along the left side now. One more breath here. And then let's interlace all our fingers. Turn them face, turn your palms face out and reach up and over so your palms are facing up towards the sky. One breath there. And then let's release our hands, take our hands behind our backs, interlace all the fingers into this mudra, yoga mudra behind our backs. Draw our hands down towards the earth, shoulder blades come together. Open your heart, lift your gaze. And feel that rebellious spirit rising within you. And ask yourself, what is it? What are the norms? What are the beliefs? The systems that surround me, which mold me, that shape who I am? Is that who I want to be? Does that align with my deep, soulful self? Release your hands. Tuck your chin in, and we'll do seated cat-cow here. So hands on your knees or thighs. As you inhale, open your heart, push in your lower back so that your navel is reaching forward, and then round through the length of your spine. Inhaling to shine your heart, lift your gaze, exhaling to round and tuck in your chin. 3 rounds here. Fine. And then let's come back onto our hands and knees. Remove your blanket if you wish. Take a moment here. Back into Brahmarasana table pose. Let's extend the left leg long. Drop the sole of the right foot to the earth and bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Lift your left fingertips across your heart, open up, reach them up towards the sky. And here you can bring your hands into your rudra mudra. So open across the heart. Look deep within your heart space. What has molded your place in this world? Is it your own sense of self, or is it the expectations that others have of you? Question your identity and how it came to be formed. Challenge the influences that have come to bear on you. One more breath here. Now we're going to come onto the right fingertips. So you can bring your left hand onto your hips here to help you. And then slowly slide your hand up so that you are now on your right knee, left leg extended. Turn the right foot, turn the lower right leg so it goes behind you. That will give you more of a steady, stable base there. Left foot on the earth. Again, come into your mudra, open your arms out wide. Embrace this vision of yourself that goes beyond the limits and restrictions and constraints that other people place on you. Perhaps you are not always yourself in different company. Perhaps with some people you are your true authentic self. With others you are hiding yourself. And what would happen if you revealed yourself, your heart self, your soul self, this true force that's within you? Drop your left hand to your left leg and reach up and over with your right arm. One more breath here. Cartwheel your right arm through the air. Bring your left hand to follow. Turn onto your right ball of your left foot and turn your right foot back underneath you. So your left leg is extended behind you. Draw your navel in. Shine your heart. Look way ahead along the earth in front of you. One more breath here. Now we're going to thread the right arm underneath our body. So reach up with the right arm, and as you exhale, thread it underneath your body and bring your right ear and shoulder to the earth. If you wish, you can place a cushion or a folded blanket here. Sorry, babe. Sorry, love. so that you're supported on a cushion. See how you feel here. Now, if you're balanced, lift your left fingertips up to the sky. See how that feels. If it feels wobbly, support yourself with the left hand on the earth. Keep pushing out through the heel of that left foot. You're on the ball of the left foot here. One more breath. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Inhale. Reach up with your right fingertips one more time. And then bring them down to the earth. Take a moment here. Fold in the left knee. Bring your sit bones back towards your heels. Bring your elbows to the earth. And then place your hands in Namaskar, prayer hands at the back of your head. Walk your elbows forward. Your eyebrow center can be on the earth or on a cushion or folded blanket. Now, if you wish, you can keep your hands in Namaskar, or you can bring your hands into your rudra mudra. Index and ring finger touching thumb, middle and little fingers extended. And then the tips of your thumbs together. So your tips of your fingers, the thumb, the ring, the index are connected above your crown. Take a full breath into your heart space here. And connect with your sankalpa. Your sankalpa is your heartfelt prayer or desire. This is the calling that we all have for our life's purpose. Some of us may spend many, many decades not knowing our life purpose. Some of us may have a very clear vision of it. And if you do not know what is your calling, or you feel that you are still on a journey of discovery, allow the petals of this lotus flower at the heart to open, to welcome in your sense of self. By connecting to yourself, you will know what it is that you truly desire, what you truly choose to do with your life. Whether it's to be a revolutionary activist, whether it's to be a peacemaker, whether it's to support others by advocacy or by action. Release your hands to the earth, rise back up into table pose, Padmanasana. And now we're going to move into the opposite side here. So extend that right leg long. Bring the left hand underneath your left shoulder. I'll turn around and face you so you can see me. Left hand under left shoulder. And let's reach up with our right fingertips up towards. There goes my ear pod, as it does every time. Just make sure that everybody can hear me properly. Hands reaching up towards the sky. Heart is open here. Reaching out for that extended right leg. So remember, if you wish, you can turn the lower leg, the left leg out behind you, because that will give you more support. Inhale up through to center. Take a moment here. Open across the heart. So it's said that there's a 6-pointed star at the heart. And it crosses the heart in different directions. It is said to be the meeting place of our upper chakras and our lower chakras. So the grounding chakras and then the uplifting chakras. And so the energy travels along our arms, down through our legs, through our crown. So just imagining that you are a star here. drop your right hand onto your right leg and reach up and over. Breathe into your side body. One more breath here. And then let's cartwheel through the air. Turn your left foot back in. Keep reaching out with that right leg long. Push out through that right heel. And reach up to the sky with your left hand, your left fingers. As you exhale, thread that left hand underneath your body so that your shoulder and your ear come either to the earth or onto your mat. And again, if you wish, you can take your right arm up to the sky. So I had my COVID-19 vaccine yesterday in my left arm, and it feels absolutely fine. I was worried about whether I would be able to practice yoga on this left arm today. One more breath. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Inhale, left fingertips up to the sky. And then bring your hand to the earth. Let's move back into our child's pose before we transition up. And again, come onto your elbows. Walk your hands forward. Bring your hands in Namaskar prayer at the back of the head. And keep walking your elbows forward so you can feel an extension underneath your armpits. And you can come into your rudra mudra here. Index and ring touching thumb. And then all of those fingers connecting gently together. One full breath here into your heart space. Visualizing your lotus flower opening its petals, and imagine that there's a light blue glow or a silver shine emanating from the petals of the lotus at your heart to help illuminate your sense of understanding of yourself, faith and trust within yourself, that you can be true to yourself. You can live life according to your ethics and principles. Rising up here from child's pose, we're going to move through table into mountain, tucking your toes. Inhale, lift your sit bones. Let's pedal our feet, swaying our hips. Maybe you look under your left armpit and then your right armpit. Sort my hair out. And then when you've had as much pedaling as you need, come to stillness. So have your index finger pointing forward, your fingers spaced out, pressing into the finger pads, the knuckles, heels reaching towards the earth, navel tucked into the spine, ears between your arms. One breath here. And then let's walk our hands back towards our feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of our mat. Because it's a new moon, we're going to do our Chandrayai Namaha sequence, our lunar salutations. Inhale to uncurl your spine, one vertebrae at a time, to rise up to standing. And then let's take our arms above our crown. Again, your rudra mudra can come together above your crown. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Open out your arms, reach up above your crown. Exhale, hands to your heart one more time. And then let's meet with our hands at the heart so your feet can be hip distance wide or big toes touching, heels slightly apart. And now I'm going to invite you to bring your left left hand to your navel and your right hand just hovering there. So either side of your navel here. Take a moment here. And now reflect on what it is that you believe in. What to you looks like a just and fair and equitable world? And how can you, with this authentic, rebellious spirit within you, co-create that? Let's turn our palms so that the right palm is underneath, left palm above, either side of the navel. Reach behind your back, interlace your fingers, draw your hands down towards the earth. If you wish, you can release your index, remember, into Kali Mudra, fearsome goddess pose. Open your heart, lift your gaze. And let's quarter turn on our mat if you haven't already to face the long side. As you exhale, bend into your knees, reach up and over with your mudra, crown reaching down towards the earth. Either have a soft or deep bend in your knees. One breath here. Inhale, bend into your knees, rise up with your heart space. Release your hands, reach out towards the side, and let's interlace them above our crown, releasing your index, crossing your thumbs if you wish here. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Open out your arms, step across your mat towards the right. Open into Tadasana star pose, coming into your rudra mudra. Take a moment here. Bend into your knees, turn out your knees. And then let's come back into where you can have your left hand on top, right hand on the bottom so that your navel is in between. So if you were to draw your fingers apart, it's almost as if you are traveling the length of your spine. Sink here. Let's sway from left to right. A little bit of movement here. Perhaps you roll onto the heel of that extended leg, so maybe you exaggerate this movement now. Perhaps you take your legs out even wider so you can exaggerate it even further. Take up space now, allowing this air to circulate. And if you wish, you can see what I'm doing. I'm circulating my arms. So I've got my mudra and I'm circulating my arms in big circles, showing that my heart is expansive. It is big enough to show compassion to all in my community, to the global community. And then when you're beginning to feel this in your thighs, let's come back to center, swap your hands so the other one is on top. And you might need to shuffle your legs in a little bit. Take a moment, come to stillness. You're going to be feeling it there. Release your hands, take them behind you, extend through your legs, straighten through your knees. Again, bring your Kali Mudra behind your back. Interlace all your fingers, and then you can extend your thumb. Open your heart by drawing your shoulder blades together, look up. Exhale, soft bending your knees, forward fold. Crown reaching down towards the earth. Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide-legged stance. One more breath. Release your hands with care. Either bring them directly to the earth, or perhaps you place them on some blocks or a couple of cushions or a low footstool. Or if they're a long way from the earth, take your hands so that they're resting on your legs. Allow your crown to be drawn down towards the earth, sit bone lifting up towards the sky. Notice how your breath changes here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to rise up, any frustrations or sense of injustice that we experience. And as you exhale, release it into the earth. Almost as if it's pouring out of your crown like a silver shower. Releasing any frustration, any constraints or binds, any oppression that you experience. Psychologically, release it into the earth. And remember this sense of inner resilience and strength and power can never be taken away from you, even under the most extreme oppressive states or systems. Lift your crown now halfway, tailbone reaching back. Your fingertips may still be connected to the earth, or maybe you've got them on your legs, wherever you're comfortable. So tailbone reaching back, crown reaching forward. Take a moment here. Turn your heels in towards you. And then let's walk our hand over to the right. You actually need to turn your left foot to a 45-degree angle. So we come into pyramid pose. Again, allow yourself to soften with your upper body. Your pyramid base can be narrow or wide. Inhale, reach behind your back. Come into your yoga mudra. And I've got adopted Kali mudra here because it's the natural one that comes to me while we're doing lunar cycles. Inhale, engage your core, press into your right foot. Have a gentle bend in that knee to rise up into standing pyramid. Lift your gaze, lift your heart. Now here, you can take hold of opposite elbows. You can bring your hands together in prayer or namaskar. So hands together between your shoulder blades. So opposite elbows or hands together. Again, drawing your shoulder blades together. Heart is open, gaze is lifted. So this new moon in Aquarius really encourages this independent, autonomous self. This identity that you have, which is your own. You are connected with nature, the cycles and rhythms of nature. You're in alignment with the lunar cycle, with the biorhythms of the earth. Exhale, bend softly into that knee. We're going to hinge forward from the hips. So we're coming halfway, crown reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. Your right leg may shake a little here. If it does, bend into that knee. One more breath. And then with care, release your namaskar hands. Bring the right hand to the inside of that right leg, onto a block or onto the leg itself. Draw the left fingertips towards the sky, coming into trikonasana. And you can have your rudra mudra. Remember that left hand can always stay on your hips for balance. One full breath here. Turn to gaze down towards the earth. Bring the left hand towards the right foot. Bend into your knee. Pivot onto the ball of your left foot. Low lunge here. Inhale. Let's rise up here. Keep a bend in that knee. Reach behind your back. Again, come into your Kali mudra. Open your heart. Lift your gaze. Drop into a low lunge here. If you wish to bring that left knee to the earth, you are invited to do so. So wherever you are, left knee on or off the earth, let's drop the left foot if you are lifted. Wherever we are, we're going to fold with our crown down towards the earth. So if you're on your knee, Then you come onto the top of your foot. And if you're on the pivot, on the ball of your foot, drop your heel so you can still have a sense of balance and connection with the earth. Humble warrior. Bowing down towards the sense of yourself, grateful for you, for the power and the willingness you have to speak up, to step up, to address challenge, face difficult situations, be prepared to hold difficult conversations, to lean into those conversations. One more breath here in humble warrior. So whichever variation, your knee on the earth, or hands clasped behind you with the knee lifted. Let's release your hands, bring them to the earth. Everyone pivot onto the ball of that left foot. You can keep your knee on the earth. You can bring your knee to the earth. Shuffle the right foot to the outside edge of your mat. Turn your right toes away. We're coming into dragon pose, this fierce pose here. Left knee on or off the mat. Yogi's choice. You can stay on your hands. You can place blocks or a footstool underneath your hands. You can come onto your forearms. And if you come onto your forearms, interlace your fingers and extend your Kali Mudra. And extending your index, crossing your thumbs. Three breaths here. And then when you're ready, coming back onto your hands. Shuffle that right foot across. Pivot on the left foot so you come onto your heel. Coming into Skandasana. Right leg extended. Now those of you who practice with me regularly, and we do Chandra Namaskar quite often, you know you can be on the ball or the sole of your right foot, left leg extended, on your heel, left toes pointed up. Your other option is to be sitting directly on the earth with your right foot on the earth, left leg extended. And you might need to reduce the angle of that left leg if it feels like it's too much of an extension there. And you can hug in that right knee. You can also be sitting on a block or a low footstool. Alternatively, you can also just lift up your seat so you're a little bit higher. And that left leg is still extended. That works quite hard on your right thigh, so see what feels comfortable for you. You've probably been here for quite a while now already, haven't you? Callie, stop talking. Find your balance. This is always tricky. And for those of us who feel really tuned into our biorhythms, especially the lunar cycle, may find that we're a little bit wobblier at this time of the moon. Bring your hands to your heart in Namaskar or in your mudra, rudra mudra. Maybe gazing at something ahead that's parallel on the horizon, your drishti, will help you balance. If you need to keep one set of fingers on the earth, choose to do that. And then let's slide across our mat, walking your hands all the way to the other side. Take your time here and come into Skandasana variation on this side. And when you've come into your variation, whether it's seated directly on the earth, or whether it's seated on a block or a footstool, perhaps you're hovering on the earth, then come into your mudra. It's a lot more accessible when you're sitting on the earth. And you can always drop that right foot to the earth as well if you're in Skandasana. I never give you that option, but that's a possibility. And then you can come onto your heel if you choose to challenge yourself. One more breath here. And then release your hands, turn towards the left, rotate onto the ball of your right foot. We're going to move into dragon pose. So we're going to mirror the movements now on this side of the mat. Left, right knee on or off the mat, yogi's choice. Take the left foot to the outside of your mat, turn your left toes out. You're on your hands, you're on your forearms, you're on a bolster with your forearms, or bricks or cushions, or your footstool, whichever variation you're in. There's no right or wrong, there's no perfection, there's no perfect pose. Simply where we are, what feels accessible, what feels good in our body. You know your edge, you know what feels challenging enough. And that, you know, you can feel it in your body when you've had enough challenge. You don't want to go beyond that sensation, because then you're not showing compassion to your most precious self. And as RuPaul says, if you're not going to love yourself, who's going to love you? You have to love yourself. One more breath here. Come onto your hands. Tuck your toes. Shuffle that left foot in towards the middle. So now we're going to be in our low lunge here. So remember that right knee can stay on the earth for your low lunge, or right knee lifted. Reach behind you with your hands. Come into your Kali mudra. Now, if you got your knee on the earth, you can fold forward into your humble warrior directly like this. If you have got your ball, the ball of your right foot on the earth, you may want to drop the right heel and then exhale down towards the earth with your crown. This is working that left thigh muscle here. And if you begin to feel dizzy, remember you can come up. You don't have to go all the way down towards the earth. You can stay halfway, a third of the way. You can have this lovely angle here that I've got. Because whatever we're doing, wherever our crown is, what's working is this left leg and this extension in that left thigh. And our heart space is open here. One more breath. And now there's a tricky transition because we're going to straighten through that left leg to come up. And you'll see we're already have the left foot pointing forward. Come up onto your right foot by lifting your right knee. Let's move into Trikonasana here. So drop your left hand towards your left leg. Open across your heart with your right arm, reaching up to the sky. Remember, you can bring that right hand to your hips for balance. Left hand can be on the earth, on your leg, on blocks or a bolster. Remember your props for bringing the earth up towards you. One more breath. Exhale, lower that right hand towards the earth. Bend into that left knee if you need. Adjust your pose so you can come into your pyramid. And then soften here. Allow your crown to release down towards the earth. Keep a bend, either deep or soft bend in your left leg. Your right foot is at a 45-degree angle. Your pyramid base is either quite narrow or quite wide. So are you the kind of yogi who will fight for causes of justice, who will stick up for those with less, who will always defend the underdog and have a commitment to support those who are the Davids rather than the Goliaths of the world? Let's come up halfway. Now reach behind with your hands. So we're halfway here. And then reach up, coming up into standing pyramid rather, sorry. Move slowly because you may feel a rush of blood to the head because we've been faced in an inversion for quite some time. So move slowly. Lift your gaze. Heart open. Now your option here. Take hold of opposite elbows or bring your hands into Namaskar behind your shoulder blades. Prayer hands, like so. One full breath here. Exhale. Bending that left knee, halfway lift. Crown reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. And then release your hands. Let's turn the left foot in. Realign the right foot so we come into our wide-legged forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Relax your crown here. Allow it to feel heavy. Your neck and shoulders are soft. Shed those limitations, those broken promises that we hear by our political and elites. Temper your emotions and harness your emotions. Bring in and draw in your intellect so that you can be an effective rebel. Let's be rebels with causes rather than a rebel without a cause. Inhale, halfway lift. So again, your fingers can be on your legs or fingertips on the earth. Perhaps the palms are on the earth. Crown reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. What can you contribute to social change? How can you be a leader? Draw your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Again, let's reach up with our hands, crown reaching down. And then bend into your knees, rise up into Goddess Pose, Devyasana. Release your hands and let's bring them into our mudra, rudra mudra. Either side of your navel. And then let's sway from left to right. Again, you can widen your stance. So you can really reach out through that extended leg. Maybe you sink down really low. And then you can circle your arms, creating these big circles. Flowing with your arms. You can bring them up and down together, or you can circle them all the way, crossing your arms. And then let's come back to center and switch your hands around. Take a moment here. Let's straighten through our legs, open out our arms into Tadasana Star Pose. Open across your heart. And we're going to step over to the right, so the front of our mat, the other end of our mat, to where we started. Bend into your knees. Bring your hands here in front of your heart. Inhale, reach up, interlace your fingers, release your index, cross your thumb in your Kali Mudra. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Over to the left. Sorry, the right. I don't know which way my right or left is going. One time in both directions. Reach behind your back. Again, bend into your knees. Exhale, fold down towards the earth with your crown. Hands lifted up behind you. Inhale to reach up. Coming back to standing mountain. Release your hands. Come into Tadasana. Take a moment here. And then you can turn towards the top of your mat. Take a moment there. Feeling free and liberated. Knowing that for some of us, feeling free can almost be an impossibility depending on the social and political systems in which we live and move and breathe. But this sense of inner liberation, liberation of the soul, liberation of the heart, liberation of your mind is accessible to all of us. That's our truth force, our soul force that we have within us. And this new moon in Aquarius draws out this rebellious side, this independent, fierce, autonomous, justice-seeking aspect. Releasing your hands into dust. Now we're going to move into our balance. So for our balance, we're going to do Natraj-asana, Lord of the Dance pose. And you might want to have a wall nearby, or you might want to have a chair or like your armchair or sofa, or something that you can touch your hand on for balance if you need. So move a little bit back from the front of your mat. And then bend into your knees, coming into your standing mountain here. Bend into your right knee and come onto the ball of the foot here. So make sure you feel balanced and have a gaze ahead and find something on the wall that's not going to move. So focus on your drishti. This will help you balance parallel to your horizon. Bringing your knee towards you. Perhaps you hug it in here. Perhaps you circle your hip one way or the other. Remember, here you can place your hand on a wall for balance. And then when you're ready, take the foot behind you and bring that heel in towards your sit bone and take hold of your leg. Now your left hand can be on your heart, on your hips, or on a wall. Yogi's choice. Let's take this right hand and find somewhere on our right leg or foot that feels comfortable. You can stay here. This can be Natraj-asana. This is Natraj-asana because we're all balancing on the left leg. If you're staying here, draw your shoulder blades together, open your heart. You can also bring the left thumb to the heart. You can come into your mudra, index and ring to the heart. Bending softly into that left leg, you can reach your crown and your heart forward and lift your toes behind you. Now you can come into any angle here. And remember, if you wobble, come back to your pose. Fall out, rise up. Keep gazing ahead, focusing on something now that might be a little bit lower than where you started. And if you're ready, you can extend your left arm long or keep it at the heart. Yogi's choice. This is the classic heart opening, connecting to the element of air. You'll notice how your breath is flowing with so much more space. Wherever you are, let's bring the hand back towards the heart or the left hip. Return the spine back to neutral. Release the right foot. Bring the right knee forward, hug it in. Circle the ankle. Perhaps you circle the hip again, and I like to place my left hand on my left hip while I circle. My hand is on my knee. And then release that foot. And then let's shimmy, shimmy before we go to the other side. Now come back into your mountain Tadasana. We're cutting it fine in our practice today. Let's do this. Come on, people. Shift the weight into your right leg. Find your focal point. Bend into that left leg. Come onto the ball of the foot and hug in your left knee here. And again, you can circle this hip by circling the knee. One way, then the other. And if you can see, I'm keeping my right hand on my right hip to keep myself steady. And then when you're ready, release that knee, bend your foot behind you, bringing that heel towards your sit bone, and reach back for your foot wherever feels comfortable for you. Your toes, the inside or the outside of your foot. And then bring your hand to your heart, your right hand, or it can stay on the hip, or you can use it on the wall for balance. As you exhale, soft bending that right knee, reach forward with your crown and your heart, reach up and back with your toes. Take a full breath here. And when you're ready, you can always extend that right arm long. And remember, your gaze is somewhere along the earth, focusing on a point for balance. And when you're ready, my yogis, return back to neutral. Release your foot, hug in that left knee, circle your hip, circle your ankle. Bring it to the earth. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. It's time to end our class. Let's end it here because it feels good here. So what I'm inviting you to do is shimmy, especially after Natarajasana. It helps us to maybe circle our hips one way, then the other way. Maybe you bend into your knees like a disco queen that you are. Maybe you bring your arms into it. Good work, yogis. Go out there with your fiery, rebellious spirit, with an expansive, compassionate heart, and be the change maker that you are, true to your soul force, your truth force, the real you, not the one that you hide away or disguise from everyone else, but you. Dhanyavad, dhanyavad, dhanyavad. Let's do Om Shanti 3 times. And let's do our mantra. Om Chandrayai Namaha. Inhale fully. Om Chandrayai Namaha. Om Chandrayai Namaha. Om Chandrayai Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.